Take a moment to imagine the gentle unraveling of invisible threads that bind your heart to old wounds and regrets. There's a profound sense of relief when you realize that what once seemed permanent can, indeed, be released. You're standing at a doorway. On one side is the weight of karmic history, past actions, lingering resentments, ancestral narratives. On the other side is the radiant promise of freedom. Each beat of your heart tells a story, and in every moment, you have the power to redirect how that story unfolds. In our hectic world, it's easy to believe that yesterday's hurts are set in stone, shaping who we become today. Yet within you lies a gentle, transformative power, a willingness to heal and move forward. Some might call it grace, others might see it as pure love. Regardless of the label, it's a consistent force that beckons you to rise above old patterns and discover a deeper sense of inner harmony. It's a reminder that the past need not be a prison, but a teacher nudging you toward greater awareness. As we walk through this journey together, be open to the possibility that even the smallest shift in your perspective can trigger profound changes in your life. You don't have to carry the burden of generations on your shoulders. You don't have to live by unspoken rules that keep you trapped in cycles of regret or guilt. Instead, you can greet each day with a newfound softness in your heart, acknowledging that every experience, pleasant or painful, can guide you to the next stage of your evolution. Today, we'll explore how to heal karmic bonds and welcome a sense of spaciousness and tranquility in your heart. We'll discuss the nature of these bonds, the importance of compassion, the liberating act of forgiveness, and the power of affirmations to shift your inner dialogue. Together, we'll delve into visualization and mirror work, techniques to help you actively reshape your inner world. You'll learn ways to align with universal love and embrace the subtle energies that support your healing journey. Finally, we'll wrap everything up with a unifying message, reminding you that you possess the innate ability to transform your life from within. No matter where you are on your path, whether you feel burdened by deep emotional scars or simply yearn for a lighter, brighter tomorrow, know that your heart is more powerful than any limiting belief. As you move through each section, hold on to the idea that true freedom begins with gentle understanding and a willingness to let go. Your journey starts now, and with each breath, you create room for boundless possibilities, guided by a love that has always been there, patiently waiting for you to embrace it. Karmic ties aren't always as mystical as they sound. Think of them as invisible threads that connect your present experiences to actions and emotions that trace back to the past, sometimes in your own lifetime, other times in your lineage or beyond. These connections often manifest as repetitive patterns, finding yourself in the same conflicts, repeatedly attracting similar situations, or feeling an inexplicable heaviness in certain relationships. Understanding the nature of these ties is the first stepping stone toward liberation. So how do these karmic bonds take root? Consider the way your daily thoughts and emotions shape your reality. Over time, persistent feelings like resentment, guilt, or unworthiness create grooves in your mind, making it easier to fall into the same emotional cycles. Sometimes these cycles appear inherited, passed down through generations that struggled with the same lessons. Other times, they're deeply personal, arising from unresolved trauma or heartbreak. By acknowledging these patterns for what they are, signals that point to areas needing healing, you shift from feeling stuck to feeling curious about the hidden lessons. This is where awareness shines as a crucial ally. When you notice yourself slipping into old habits or reacting in familiar ways, pause. Ask your heart, is this truly who I want to be right now? Is there a new response that honors my growth? Simply bringing consciousness to these moments stops the automatic replay of outdated behavior. It might feel uncomfortable at first, because stepping out of a well-worn path can feel like standing on new terrain. But in that discomfort, real growth takes shape. A gentle practice is to start your day by reflecting on one pattern or recurring situation you wish to transform. Close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing any memory or emotion related to that pattern to rise. Rather than judging yourself or the situation, approach it with calm observation. As you witness it, remind yourself of the possibility that you can choose differently today. This small moment of clarity begins to unravel the emotional knots that keep karmic ties in place. An affirmation for this stage might be, I see the pattern and I release its hold on me. Speaking these words aloud or writing them in a journal reinforces your new perspective. You're essentially telling your subconscious mind that you acknowledge the old loop and are ready for a change. Over time, this consistent reminder becomes a key that unlocks habitual responses. Gradually, your mind begins to find fresh paths and solutions, leading you toward a lighter, more open-hearted way of living. By recognizing karmic ties as lessons rather than curses, you empower yourself to respond with curiosity and grace. This shift in viewpoint transforms every repetition from an act of self-sabotage into an opportunity for conscious evolution. And with each conscious choice, you loosen the grip of the past, making room for the freedom that awaits just beyond the old narratives. Compassion is a gentle lens through which you can view both your own experiences and those of others. It softens the edges of harsh judgments and tenderizes the bitterness in our hearts. Imagine for a moment the difference between looking at a painful memory with anger versus meeting it with compassion. In one scenario, you might tighten, reinforcing old resentments. In the other, you breathe deeply, acknowledge the wound, and offer kindness to the part of you that's still hurting. This approach doesn't erase what happened, but it changes how the memory lives within you. Many people see compassion as something we extend outward, but it's equally crucial to direct that benevolence inward. Past mistakes, missed opportunities, or regrets often weigh us down precisely because we haven't shown ourselves the same kindness we'd readily give a friend. If you hold on to self-judgment, the karmic cycle persists, each critical thought feeding the idea that you're somehow unworthy. It's a loop that only you can break by saying, I understand I did my best with the awareness I had at the time. I'm ready to be gentle with myself now. One practical way to foster compassion is through a short daily check-in. At the start or end of your day, place your hand gently over your heart and feel its steady rhythm. In that moment, remind yourself that you are doing the best you can with the tools you have. If any feelings of guilt, shame, or regret surface, silently offer them acceptance. Let these emotions know they're seen. Then, like a compassionate caretaker, reassure them that their time of ruling your life is over. You may find tears come up, and that's okay. Tears can be a form of release, a sign that your body and heart are finally letting go of stored pain. Compassion for others, especially those who've hurt you, can feel more challenging. You might wonder why you should be compassionate towards someone who caused you harm. But remember, compassion doesn't mean endorsement of harmful actions. Instead, it acknowledges that they too are on their own journey, possibly bound by their own karmic loops or limited beliefs. By choosing compassion, you free yourself from the toxic cycle of blame and counter-blame. You allow your heart to remain open, which is vital for genuine healing. An affirmation that complements this process is, I treat myself and others with gentle understanding. Speaking these words nurtures a mindset that disarms hostility, whether it's self-directed or projected onto others. Over time, you'll find that interactions once tinged with tension start to feel lighter. Compassion sets the stage for true connection, both with your inner self and the wider world. It also paves the way for the deeper work of forgiveness, which becomes easier when your heart is already trained to respond with warmth rather than condemnation. Forgiveness might sound like a grand gesture, meant only for major conflicts. Yet often it's a daily practice that starts with the little irritations and disappointments we carry in our hearts. We tend to think forgiveness is for the one who committed the wrongdoing, but in reality, it's for the one holding the hurt. Without forgiveness, we remain energetically tethered to the event or person who caused us pain, an invisible cord that keeps us reliving the wound. By releasing resentment, you reclaim your energy, your emotional freedom, and your ability to move forward unburdened. Many people resist forgiving because they believe it excuses the offense. However, true forgiveness doesn't condone harmful behavior. It simply acknowledges that the past can no longer dictate your present well-being. It's a declaration of independence from the weight of old emotions. Think of forgiveness as stepping out of a locked room you didn't realize you held the key to. Yes, what happened might have been unjust, cruel, or deeply unfair. But by dwelling on it, you relive it again and again in your own mind. Choosing forgiveness severs that loop, freeing you from its grip. One of the most powerful ways to practice this is through a simple letter of release. Take a piece of paper and write down exactly how you feel: anger, sadness, betrayal, without censoring yourself. Address the letter to the person, situation, or even to yourself if self-forgiveness is needed. Pour your emotions onto the page with honesty and clarity. When you've said everything you need to say, end with a statement like, I now choose to forgive and set both of us free. You don't need to mail this letter. Its purpose is to provide a safe space for your emotions and an opportunity to consciously declare your intent to move on. You can burn or tear up the letter afterward as a symbolic gesture of release. An affirmation that pairs perfectly with this process might be, I forgive to set my heart free. Repeat this whenever old resentments bubble up. Notice any sensations, perhaps a knot in your stomach or a tightness in your chest, as these may indicate the emotional residue of unhealed pain. Breathe through these feelings, gently reminding yourself that you are safe to let go. Over time, you'll likely feel those knots loosen, replaced by a sense of lightness and peace. Forgiveness opens the door to new possibilities in your life. You create space for healthy relationships, innovative ideas, and a deeper connection with your authentic self. It transforms burdens into lessons, revealing the strength and resilience you may have forgotten. When you practice forgiveness, you aren't only releasing another person from judgment, you're also granting yourself the gift of moving on with greater clarity and openness of heart. Affirmations are like seeds you plant in the fertile soil of your mind, waiting for them to grow into new habits of thought. When chosen carefully and spoken with conviction, they rewire long-held beliefs that undermine your self-esteem and sense of worth. At the core of karmic healing is the recognition that you deserve love, both from others and, crucially, from yourself. Negative self-talk often mirrors old wounds, replaying judgments from the past. By replacing these inner voices with affirmations of self-love, you gradually shift the emotional script. Imagine waking up each morning and greeting yourself with a nurturing statement, such as, "I welcome joy and I celebrate my uniqueness." If this is unfamiliar territory, it might feel awkward at first. You might even hear a cynical voice within saying, "Who are you kidding?" That's okay. Embrace the discomfort as part of the healing process. Over time, with consistent repetition, your mind begins to accept these statements as truth. It's similar to learning a new language. At first, you stumble over the words, but with practice, it becomes second nature. To create powerful affirmations, focus on the qualities you wish to embody: kindness, confidence, resilience, and phrase them in the present tense as if you already live them. For instance, "I am worthy of love," or "My heart radiates forgiveness," are strong, direct statements that have a tangible impact when spoken aloud. The key is to avoid adding disclaimers or future tenses like "I will be worthy" or "someday I'll forgive." Affirming in the present tethers the new belief to your reality now, not at some distant, undefined point in time. You might also find it useful to tie your affirmations to simple daily actions. Say them in the mirror while brushing your teeth, or quietly repeat them while waiting in line for coffee. If possible, integrate them into a calming ritual, like lighting a candle or playing gentle background music. This creates an environment that supports the emotional resonance of the words. As you weave these statements into your day, you'll likely notice subtle shifts in how you carry yourself. Your posture might straighten, your smile might come more easily, and challenges might feel less daunting. An affirmation to keep close to your heart could be, "I love and accept myself completely." Feel the weight of those words. Let them settle into the deepest corners of your being. If you find tears or resistance surfacing, welcome them as signs of transformation. You're tapping into layers of old beliefs, gently dissolving the ones that no longer serve you. Through this practice of consistent, heartfelt affirmation, you turn your inner critic into an inner ally, offering yourself the compassion and support you may have long craved from external sources. Visualization is a potent bridge between your inner world and your tangible reality. When you craft a clear mental image of the life you want, the transformation you seek, or the relationships you wish to heal, you give your subconscious mind a blueprint. This is especially important when addressing karmic bonds. Visualizing the cords that tie you to past pain and seeing them dissolve in a bath of warm light can trigger a profound emotional release. It's as though you're signaling to your mind and heart, this is the direction we're moving in. One helpful practice is guided inner release. Find a quiet space, close your eyes and slow your breathing. Picture yourself standing before a door labeled healing. In your mind's eye, step through this door into a radiant landscape. Maybe it's a lush forest, a tranquil beach, or a vast field of flowers. In this sanctuary, call forth any images or symbols that represent the karmic weights you're ready to let go of. These could appear as knots, dark shapes, or other creative symbols. Gently imagine them dissolving into beams of soft, forgiving light. Stay with this image for a few minutes, feeling the sensation of relief and release. When you open your eyes, affirm that the letting go has begun. Mirror work is another powerful tool that complements visualization. The mirror reflects not just your physical appearance, but also your emotional state. Look into your eyes and see more than just your reflection. See the essence of who you truly are, someone worthy of love and healing. Start with something simple. Say your name followed by a gentle, loving statement, such as, "I'm proud of how far you've come, and I love you." Notice any discomfort or skepticism. Instead of turning away, breathe through those feelings. Consistent mirror work can uncover hidden self-criticisms and bring them to the surface where they can be lovingly addressed. If you feel particularly brave, try combining affirmations with mirror work. For example, while looking at yourself, declare, "I release all barriers to love, and I embrace my limitless capacity for joy." Watch your facial expression as you speak. Are you smiling, frowning, tearing up? Your reaction can reveal the layers of belief and doubt within you. Even if you feel silly, stick with it. Over time, the mirror becomes less of a critic stage and more of a supportive witness to your growth. An affirmation that works wonderfully here is, "Every day I see my true self more clearly, and I am worthy of my own love." Repeat this often, especially when you catch a glimpse of yourself in reflective surfaces. Let it become a mental refrain. With each repetition, you reinforce the image of a self who stands liberated from past burdens, shining with a heart that's open and ready for all the love life has to offer. Over time, both visualization and mirror work seamlessly blend into a daily act of self-celebration, guiding you closer to the freedom you seek. Once you've stepped onto the path of releasing karmic ties, you'll discover that genuine healing isn't a single event, but a lifestyle. Daily actions, like practicing gratitude, offering kindness, and embracing spontaneity, nudge your heart to remain open, aligned, and ready to receive. There's a beautiful synergy that unfolds when your intentions match your behaviors. You find yourself resonating with people, opportunities, and experiences that reflect your newly elevated perspective. In many spiritual communities, group meditations and online forums have grown increasingly popular. People gather virtually or in person to share stories of transformation, creating a collective energy that feels supportive and uplifting. If you find yourself longing for a sense of connection, consider joining a group that focuses on compassion, forgiveness, or affirmations. Not only will you pick up fresh insights, but you'll also see that you're far from alone in your pursuit of healing. Even simple acts like participating in a shared gratitude challenge can anchor you in a daily habit of focusing on the positive. A helpful practice at this stage is to design small rituals that keep your attention on love and freedom. This might be lighting a candle each morning to symbolize the flame of universal compassion. As you light it, declare something like, "Today, I choose to act from love. Or it could be as simple as setting an alarm on your phone twice a day to pause, breathe, and mentally reaffirm your commitment to staying open-hearted. These seemingly minor gestures accumulate, creating a consistent thread of mindful intention throughout your day. When difficulties arise, as they inevitably do, allow them to be opportunities to practice your new mindset. Instead of shrinking back into old fears, meet challenges with the question, how can I respond to this situation from a place of love? It might feel unnatural at first, especially if your past responses involved anger, avoidance, or self-doubt. But each time you choose love, you fortify a neural pathway in your mind that supports peaceful resolution and deeper harmony. Over time, what feels forced now will become second nature. An affirmation to guide you here is, my heart aligns with the compassion of the universe, and I flow where love leads me. Notice the emphasis on unity, no separation between you and the infinite source of love that surrounds us all. By affirming this alignment, you remind yourself that your healing isn't an isolated event. Rather, it's part of a cosmic dance, where every step you take in the direction of love reverberates far beyond your own life. In that sense, your journey of releasing karmic ties is also a contribution to collective healing. You become a living example of what's possible when the heart opens and embraces the calling of universal love. As we draw this journey to a close, take a moment to notice the subtle shifts in your inner landscape. Perhaps you feel a gentle stirring of hope where there was once apprehension, or a new softness in places that used to feel tense or closed off. These are signs of growth, a reflection of the healing energy you've invited into your life. Remember that peeling away the layers of old karmic bonds happens gradually, one compassionate choice at a time. There's no rush. Your heart has its own rhythm, and honoring that pace is part of the beautiful unfolding. We began by acknowledging that karmic ties often appear as repetitive patterns, emotional triggers, or inherited beliefs. Through awareness, you learn to spot these loops and approach them with curiosity. We then explored compassion as the first step toward freedom, guiding you to see yourself and others through eyes unclouded by judgment. Forgiveness emerged as a key that unlocks even the most stubborn doors, liberating both you and those who once occupied painful chapters in your memory. Along the way, you discovered how affirmations, visualization, and mirror work could dissolve the barriers that keep you from embracing self-love and self-worth. Ultimately, the lessons converge on one universal theme: living each day from a place of open-hearted alignment. Your daily routines, the words you speak to yourself, and the small acts of love you share with the world all become expressions of this newfound freedom. Consistency in these practices cements the transformation. Some days will be easier than others, and that's perfectly okay. Growth is not linear. It winds, dips, and spirals, offering fresh insights at every turn. Before you fully step back into the flow of daily life, consider affirming this final statement. I trust my journey, and I embrace the freedom that is my birthright. Allow those words to resonate within you. They are a reminder that no matter the external circumstances, you hold the power to release what no longer serves your highest good. By cultivating self-love, choosing compassion, and forgiving generously, you walk a path of radiant authenticity, one that beckons more love, more peace, and more joy into your life. In the days to come, return to these teachings whenever you need a gentle nudge toward healing. Let them serve as a compass, guiding you through moments of doubt or hesitation. Know that you're never truly alone on this path. Countless others are waking up to the call of inner freedom and universal love. Together, your collective healing weaves a tapestry of hope that spans across all boundaries. With every breath, you reinforce the truth that you can release karmic ties and step into a life brimming with possibility. Carry this knowledge close to your heart and let it transform not just your perspective, but the very energy you bring to each moment. In doing so, you become a beacon of light, reminding us all that true freedom is within reach, rooted in love, nurtured by compassion, and sustained by unwavering faith in the brilliance of your own soul.